So the NBA drafted a new class of potential basketball superstars last night at Brooklyn's Barclays Center.
And there was a big surprise, which we're going to get to in a minute. But first, let's bring in Bill Reiter, the host of Reiter Then You. I love your name. Were you right on all these picks? Let's talk about the top three. How did the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Celtics do in their top picks?
I think they did very well. This is a historically deep draft, and so you draft for need. Markelle Fultz is an incredible scorer. They already have a facilitating forward in Ben Simmons they drafted last year. I think it's a great pick. Lonzo Ball, despite the fact that his dad is a bit of a distraction, is a very good basketball player. He's a facilitate first point guard. They need that to develop some of their young guys like Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle. And I think the big surprise was Boston with Jason Tatum. We'll see. I mean, I would have gone Josh Jackson, but Danny Ainge, the GM in Boston, knows what he's doing. And this is a very good, very athletic 6'8" swingman. It's going to be interesting to see if that's the right pick. I think some people were surprised by that.
You know, you mentioned Lonzo Ball. One of the biggest names in the draft wasn't actually a player. It was Lonzo Ball's dad. What is up?
I know. I actually, when he got drafted by the Lakers, I think everybody sort of held their breath and was worried that LeVar was going to go onto the stage instead of his son. Hopefully this is the beginning of the end of dad taking so much of the limelight from his son. Very soon, in Summer League in a few weeks, Lonzo gets to actually start playing professional basketball, and hopefully that'll speak for itself.
And LA Lakers fan, I'm sure, thrilled. He's a UCLA guy, right?
Yeah, he might be the best player in this draft in 5 years, and it's such a great fit. Magic Johnson obviously runs that basketball operations now. He knows a thing or two about point guards. People in LA are really, for the first time in a long time, very optimistic about the future of their franchise.
All right, we got to talk about another trade, and that's the Bulls.
Crazy.
Jimmy Butler going to the Minnesota Timberwolves, traded for Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine.
Yeah,
okay.
LaVine, yeah.
And the teams swapped draft places after that happened. So who's the winner?
The winner is Minnesota. People in Chicago are really, really angry. Jimmy Butler is a top 10 or top 12 player in the league. He's reunited with Tom Thibodeau, who's the head coach and the head of operations in Minnesota.
Molded him into a good player.
Yeah, Minnesota was a really good, interesting young team. Now they have a great player and a veteran and a leader. Watch the T-Wolves. They're going to be really good next year. Now the Bulls, everyone's hating on the pick, and I'm one of them, but they did, in trading up, get a young man named Lauri Markkanen who's really interesting, has a lot of potential. The potential's not the same thing as a sure thing, and at least for the moment, Bulls fans are very frustrated.
I'm always curious who the sleeper pick is.
I've got one for you.
Tell me.
All right, ready? It'll be a few years, but we'll look very smart in a couple years. Zach Collins out of Gonzaga went to Portland. There's a few reasons I love this pick. One, the GM in Portland, Neil O'Shea, has been brilliant at finding draft picks in sort of the 3 to 12 range. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum. This kid is 7 feet tall. Wow. He shoots the three pretty well. He only took about 21 threes, but he hit half of them. He can play with his back to the basket, and he's really mobile. And Gonzaga's really close to Portland, where Neil O'Shea obviously lives. He scouted him a lot. I think this is going to be a pick years from now. We're going to say, man, how did he fall all the way to 10?
And a sleeper pick from kind of a sleeper school.
It is, yeah.
Gonzaga.
It's so much fun to watch Gonzaga this past season.
They were really good, and this Collins was a big part of it because they get out, they run. He's really athletic. Yeah, he's going to be a very exciting player.
So I woke up this morning and I hadn't heard of Fultz. Casual basketball fans, and I discovered that 16 freshmen out of there were 16 freshmen picked out of the first 30. That's some sort of record.
It's a record. I think just one senior, I believe, was drafted in the first round. I mean, this is unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the future of the league. They force these young men to go to college for a year, the one and done rule, and there are so many talented basketball players because of the way the AAU system works. There's going to be more of this in the years ahead, probably not less.
I want more coverage of the WNBA. Always what I tell you. I love watching
Anniversary of Title IX today.
Is it really?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So good point.
I got to hit on the radio show tonight.
We'll join you. Bill Reiter, always great to hear from you. Thank you for joining us,
Bill.